In the 19th century, the percussion cap block began its rise to become the most prevalent firearm ignition system globally. However, the mechanisms of most cap blocks largely mirrored those of the older flintlock design. This is why the set slipper, or what is often called the mule lock, stands out as a unique and rare type of firelock in history. Interestingly, thanks to various videos, we have found a similar type of firearm also exists in Thailand. So this time, let's take a closer look at this particular piece. In the last video, we discussed the type of Thai firearm whose most distinctive feature was a large fire pin that moved sideways to strike the priming cap. This time, however, the ignition mechanism is different. It uses a hammer, not a fire pin, compared to the common percussion cap block. The hammer on this firearm is positioned on the right side, and its turning direction is perpendicular to the gun barrel. When we first see the appearance of this gun, it's immediately obvious that it's not a factory-produced, mass-manufactured weapon. Instead, it is a piece crafted by people in mountains for the purpose of survival. Following that, the gun stock offers another interesting point of discussion. You can see that some stocks are the short type, similar to the Chinese muzzleloader's short handle stock, while others features a longer, more Western-style design. Additionally, who are the builders of this gun? When we address this question, we must mention the Karen people, also known as the Kayan. We must understand the makers of the firearm, the Karen people. They are an ethnic group living primarily in the mountainous regions along the Thai-Myanmar border, and their culture is intrinsically woven into the mountain environment. The Karen philosophy centers on subsistence and self-reliance. They are skilled mountain farmers, relying on traditional shifting cultivation to grow rice. This way of life requires them to use their own hands and ingenuity to meet every challenge, from procuring food to protecting their crops. The Karen spiritual world is complex, blending Buddhism, Christianity, and animism, a deep reverence for nature and their ancestors. They respect every life and every soul. This respect dictates how they use their tools, pragmatically, judiciously, and without waste. Compared to most historical muzzleloaders, which were mostly military weapons, these guns are absolutely vital tools for their life and personal security. As a self-reliant ethnic group, this type of muzzleloader has a short shooting range and less power than modern rifles. However, its structure is simple, reliable, and easy enough to maintain in the dense jungle. It is very well suited for the Karen people's survival needs. Crops are also critically important for the Karen people, so this muzzleloader can also be used to guard crops. Imagine rats or other animals eating the rice. This simple gun can be used to deter or hunt these thieves. In addition, it is also a vital traditional hunting tool for supplementing the family's food supply. Thus, by understanding the way of life and the culture of the Karen people, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the gun beyond its humble appearance. And in this part, let's talk about some details of the mechanism. Just like the guns in my last video, this firearm also incorporates many modern components, such as screws and springs, but overall, I believe the most distinctive element is undoubtedly the hammer of this gun. Compared to the most common percussion cap block design we typically picture, the firelock of this gun is not only simpler, but also structurally unique. The hammer's turning direction is perpendicular to the gun barrel, and it restricts the priming peel or cap. If we were to take the hammer out, we would be surprised to find that this firelock system consists of only two main parts, the trigger and the hammer. The hammer has a long tail, which serves as the axle, and that axle also has a small secondary tail that can be hooked by the trigger. In other words, the trigger is able to hold the entire hammer in place because of the axle's tail. The sear on the hammer shaft exerts a downward force, and the notch at the top of the trigger is positioned to catch the sear, thereby holding the hammer cocked. When the trigger is pulled, the hammer and its sear are released, causing the hammer to rotate forward and strikes the primer to complete the firing process. Finally, all these stories and the details make this muzzleloader both vivid and concrete.